What up, my devil? Sensei-tutum here with another video for you. So, gonna be public on YouTube for the first time in some time. So, for the YouTube subs that watch this, what's up? It's been a while. How you doing? For all the members of the Discord, you'll see this as normal, but I'm gonna start posting up stuff I want to show public on my YouTube for all to share. Just easier for me to do it that way. So yeah, and this won't change content at all for you Discord members. Still, most of the stuff's going to be, you know, in the Discord, so no worries there. But the stuff that's supposed to be public, going to hit it here. So for those of you on YouTube that don't know me, I work at Trade Devils as a sensei, teaching technical analysis, specialized in Elliott Wave. So yeah, I'm a trader, and that's what I'm going to focus on tonight. I do look at larger macro perspectives for, you know, those enthusiasts, those hodlers of shit coins and shit stonks that we all love so much. But really, I like to focus on trading. So the perspective of about 1 hour, 4 hour, 15 minutes, something like that is really what you're going to see out of me for the most part, especially tonight. I got a lot of charts I want to hit. I would say hit them quick, but, you know, I know how I am. So I won't waste any time. But just so you know, I'm into all markets. I'm going to definitely get into Bitcoin, Dogecoin, DOT, Ethereum, Litecoin. We're going to look at all those tonight. And I think I said Bitcoin, of course. But we're going to start in the traditional markets. And if you are a serious crypto trader, you're curious about what's going on with some of the traditional things, because there's been a lot of correlation to Bitcoin to the S&P, right? And of course, whatever the dollar index is doing, what the 10-year yields are doing, these are important things. Maybe even gold and silver. We're going to talk about a couple of those things tonight. So I'm going to hit those first, just to get the perspective of where the little crypto market is, right? And where things are headed and how I think they're going to sit. So let's get into it. So we'll start over here. This is the 10. Well, we already have the TNX, the 10-year Treasury yields up, and I have been pretty resolute that I think this is a bear market rally, something like this. A, B, C, zigzag. But I do think we have potentially new highs coming in here. Just make this big. We could be going for this level here. This is impulse 3, put in a 4 here, nice low there on this channel boundary. So, you know, I don't like that. That's too high. I don't think we're breaking this area. I want to say that we're gonna do that. So A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. You can already tell it's going to push out on divergence. That's a weakness. It shows a sign of weakness in a market. You know, the funds rate isn't rising. This is organic rising. That, of course, if the funds rate didn't exist, it'd be through the roof because of all the inflation. And inflation is a hot topic because what does inflation do? It drives up asset prices. What are we doing? We're trading assets. So, you know, as scary as things have looked to some, I'm pretty freaking, I feel like this is a great time of opportunity. So deploying cash, and we'll continue to do so, but not in this, because I don't buy these shit coins from the treasury. So the dollar, it's boned by my estimation. And by boned, I mean, it's coming down to here, and then, and then it's going to be something. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens at this level, but this is what I think. So this is a daily chart. This perspective, this could be months. I think that, you know, of course there will be, nothing goes in a straight line, but I think we will come down here and complete around this area. Maybe we fall short. I doubt it. But that's an impulse, you know. Is it a zigzag altogether? I don't know. A, B, C. But why are we putting in a zigzag? Or a flat, even, depending on the situation. I think zigzag. So this could be an X. W, X, you know, Y up here somewhere. I do, you know, this is the chart, so I think we're in an inflationary moment. What's the Fed say? It's transitory? Maybe it is. We'll see. Or we break this level and go to the dirt. US dollar goes to zero. I don't think that happens, but we will break below this 90 level that people always freak out. So we had come down here, tested the 89. That was freak out time. I think we'd make a new low, more freak out, but that's when everybody's going to turn full bear, and then she's going to turn around the dollar. But right now, I'm bearish, which means I'm bullish on other assets like the S&P 500. So this is the ES futures chart, S&P 500, same thing. It's a great chart to trade. I'm personally long on this from around this area. Looking good thus far. The only question I have here is this 1, 2, 3, 4 going up for 5? And I'm not going to really discuss macro counts here, but we're long in the tooth on this run, but the trend is my friend until it's in. But when there's resolution at this degree, keep your head on a swivel. We'll have to reevaluate when it gets there, but you can go back. Actually, if you go on the Trade Devils YouTube channel, got a macro look not too long ago. So some guys are trying to make me call the top, which I don't like to do, but you'll hear me talk about it there. The only other question on this chart is if this is the count, or is it even more bullish? And it's, get these over here. That's finishing 3 to this point. No, in this market, it's probably this, even though it doesn't make as much sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, in this market, it's probably something like that. But I would be on the lookout for this, potentially. But again, these markets always tend to go up way longer than you would expect. I do expect new all-time highs. This could come up here and then come retest where we're at now, but I'm thinking that we put a sideways in with this move, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 swings. And I don't usually get this, let's say, remedial on my videos, but since I'm posting it up on the YouTube for the first time in a while, I'll go ahead and do this. 7 swing move, WXY. Can't finish on that, right? So this. I'm getting these degrees all jacked up, I'm sure. What's this? Primary. Let's get this down to sub-minuet. And then we'll do this too. Alright, so makes a little bit more sense that way, right? So corrective wave. A, B, C. Complex B. Not uncommon. Looking good. Flat wave in equities. Oh my God, who would have thought? They happen all the time with these sharp C waves that scare everybody. The news goes nuts. And that's about the time I start buying. So yeah, I was buying yesterday. Anyway, I won't go too much more into traditionals. I know that I do have some guys that are interested in this chart and this chart. This is the Tesla and Amazon, but we'll save that for members. All right, jumping over to the big dog Bitcoin, and then we'll hit some of the shitters, the bigger shitters, and then we'll get into the more obscures. But we've got DOT on the list, we've got a Dogecoin on the list. But let's hit Bitcoin. Let's hit the Bitcoin first. So, a lot of thoughts about the macro perspective, and I've talked about them a lot in videos, live streams for the members. Those are recorded, guys, if you want to watch them. So yeah, but on the trading perspective, I have this hidden. Boom. This is what I'm looking at. So all I need to see is resolution of a giant 3-wave to know that I would, want to buy the resolution of that personally, because I know that even if I'm in the most bearish of possibilities, I'm correcting at least all of this wave. And when you're trading degrees 15 minutes, an hour, even 4-hour chart, a move like this, potentially that I'm showing here, let's say even to there, 20% move, hell yeah, I'll take that. So I don't care what major perspective is. If you think it's, Bitcoin's going to zero, if I see this resolve a three-wave structure that looks like this, and I draw these yellow lines for the members because I always use yellow to show divergence, and this was an example of what potentially could happen. So yeah, looking for that, and I'll go ahead and get rid of this crap. So just to make it a little bit more remedial for the YouTube audience today, something like this. Now, this is double top, whether the BN's here, BN's there. Not overly concerned with that. What I'm looking for, you see this? See price coming down and see the oscillator going up, and this particular oscillator is going green, green, green because it says, hey, stupid, that's bullish. It's good for people that don't understand divergence. I do, but I still just very much like this oscillator. So yeah, this was showing divergence, and then boom, we're popping up out of it. So what I'm looking to see though is, I'm thinking, double top. I'm just starting here. What am I doing? Channel. So if this is a C wave, I want this to be 3, 4, come down for a 5, draw your Elliott Wave temporary channel. So this is a minimum expectation for price and time for a wave 4. Looking for something like that. Come right up into here. This high is there. If we make a lower high on a higher high on the oscillator, that's what we would call so a lower high in price, but the higher high in the oscillator. We can even jump up time frame. So it's not going to be. We're not getting a ton of movement in the oscillator here. This is a little not enough resolution. We'll go down to 2 hour. Okay, so if we get a higher high in price here and a lower high in price here than that, and a higher high on the oscillator, that is what we call hidden bearish divergence. So we should potentially continue to the downside at that, and you see that sort of thing at the end of a correction. So yeah, looking for that. That's a nice educational nugget there for the freebies, right? So definitely could have bought here. Wouldn't have been mad. It's just shit. You can, depending on what your perspective is, you can buy here. I don't care. But at the very most bullish or bearish of scenarios, you're looking for like, damn it, I need to use the price range tool. So let's just say it finishes there, something like that. Like a 50% retracement of this move. Okay, that's even deeper. So let's say we'll take it down to a 20. So at the most bearish case, you're potentially wanting to get 20% out of it. So you may not capture all of that, but that's great, right? And then if you zoom out on this perspective, if we're finishing this major 3 wave and Bitcoin has been doing 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, maybe it's going to do another equal size 3. That's the next most, bearish perspective. So we get like a 1-to-1 move of this thing. Say it finishes down there. No, obviously, actually, I don't need to use the tool because 1-to-1 would bring it back to the high. So if it finishes down here and it gets back to the high 1-to-1 area, that's 46% run. I mean, we're talking, we're in sideways hogwash, but we're talking big freaking moves, that money to be made. So, and of course, there's much more bullish scenarios, right, that have us going to make all-time highs and then some by a lot, right? So this is quite a good quality buy that you could potentially buy, get out of, add. Basically, you have your roadmap. So I'm feeling good about Bitcoin. Not currently long, not like the ES. Maybe I'll regret it, but yeah. So let's jump into the next chart. Let's see here. I'm gonna start with link. I'm gonna fly through a lot of these, and some of them I don't have much of a perspective on thus far, so I'll do a little live analysis potentially. Link is like one of the hardest charts I find with my technical analysis methods, the TDU method, to analyze. And you know, I don't know what you do or what anybody else does, but I got a feeling it's tough for anybody, this chart. But I actually think I'm starting to get this girl's mood underhand. I think I'm starting to know her. And she likes to move in threes. And of course, it's algo driven market. Algo, target, sell, algo buy, reaction, target there, big three, 58 target up there. If the world's not ending, buy some Link. Looks decent. I don't like to trade this one personally. I don't really trade Link per se often. I just whenever it looks decent, I just buy some and then I put it away. That's what I do with Link. It's not great for trading, in my opinion. Something I do like to trade is the Ethereum, though. So this one's been overheated relative to the rest of the market, sort of like Bitcoin had been. But this one's been hot while Bitcoin has been cooling. It's way up, right? Freaking Ethereum went over 4K. So I'm thinking something like this. And, I posted this for members back here, actually, is when I drew it. And I told them at the time I wasn't calling it specific top. It did go up and make one more. And as I drew that there, kind of indicated I thought it might. So I still think we're going to do something like this. Definitely money to be made, to be traded. I don't know that there's necessarily, it's my favorite chart at the moment to trade. So moving on to the next one. By the way, when we get some of these other shit coins, that's where some cool trades are setting up. Besides Bitcoin, of course. GRT, it's ugly. Had been waiting for this for quite some time. Got excited this might be an impulse off this low. 1, 2. All right. I'm not going to be too lazy for you guys today. We'll just say we'll be a little lazy. It's a zigzag, I think. Something like that. Zigzag. Now we can go down, finish this damn Y out. It's been kind of like the idea for some time, but hoped it wouldn't happen. Got some fib extension targets for, the W relationship, the C of the Y relationship, because of course the Y needs to consist of in a multiple zigzag. It needs to be a zigzag, simple zigzag within, of course, like that. So yeah, fib targets 1-to-1 is clearly the most probable relationship for both the W to the Y and the A to the C. Down here, the next most probable is the 618. This one, which is that's from the W to the Y, would result in an truncation, which nobody loves, especially me. So we'll just have to see. It's not giving a lot of clarity on this, analyzing this wave structure. This is a 1, 2. Maybe I'm not really worried about it. Just kind of chilling on this one. Does have very nice divergence there, though. That has been realized probably already to an extent. You know what? Let's get down to 15. Let's see what she's doing. I don't watch anybody on YouTube, any analyst. If I do, I'm watching Sam, but, I really don't watch any other analysts. But I hear that most people on YouTube in the crypto space are just drawing trend lines and wedges and shit. You get a lot more than that from the TDU family, so you should check us out. I say that as I'm drawing trend lines because I'm thinking about it, though this is not a trend line. Remember what I told you I do with yellow? That was to show divergence. Was it preserved on this time frame? No. Yeah, actually it was. There's divergence here. So multiple time frame divergence. The higher the better, and we were up on the hour when we saw it, but down to the 15. That's not too bad. We're realizing it somewhat here. I don't know. It actually looks okay, but there's, you know, what are we resolving over here? Remember how we talked about Bitcoin? You know, I like to, if I can resolve at the next higher degree, so I can give myself at the trading degree sort of a roadmap to follow. That's the strength of Elliott Wave. You see people on Twitter talk about, oh, anybody trading Elliott Wave can't make money. You don't know what you're talking about. This is the easiest money. You just have to know how to do it. You just have to know what you're doing. Think about it. So yeah, I don't love this one to trade. I like the project. Next, Cardano. Charles, what you doing, my man? This thing's crazy. You know, I was watching this thing down here, being sleepy, thinking that it was a good buy, and I didn't jump in. So, kind of been kicking myself on this one. So I had this drawn for potential. The reason these are drawn, those trend lines like that, I'm imagining, I was thinking it was potential to be something like this. Could be this, but it's quite impulsive, yeah. 3, 4, 5. That would be. Wouldn't that be interesting if this was? This is weird, but this could be a 1-2. And if this was an expanding triangle, when I thought that this was an expanding triangle, and you don't see them. Although if this is, that means this is an impulse, and that the larger one is probably out of the question. Now, if this is an expanding triangle, then I would expect swift retracement soon. So if that does happen, though, no, it's not an expanding triangle, is it? Does not follow guidelines and rules. Has to expand, right, kids? A, B, C. Yep. Nope. Let's see what our algo friends are doing on this thing. Would you look at that? Swing low, swing high, 50 reaction, 50 reaction, 618 more reaction, target 1 reaction. Could go up here to target 2, target 3. What's this large degree? Algo targets I have set up. Oh yeah. Reaction. That wasn't a 50. So only one reaction here. Still could be this expanded triangle. Either way, this thing's bullish. On the trading degree, if it comes back down here, that's kind of gonna screw up some ideas, right? Man, not enough clarity on this one, right? You know, I would take a potential algo play, but what I'm seeing is And I'll go ahead and be remedial. And I know that a lot of the members appreciate that. I get a lot of from the guys, you're vague. It's like, well, how many charts do you want to look at? And, you know, how many ideas do you want? I only have so much time, right? But to be very plain with my count, this is what's looking like to me is the most obvious, and I always like obvious. Us guys that aren't that good at charts, we like the obvious. So, because obvious is easy, and easy makes money. Which does go back to this potential expanding it triangle idea. If we go on, continue up for algo target 2, maybe even algo target 3, which would be around the range of this larger degree algo target 2. Entry was here for the bigger one. So we would have one potential here, which let's say pulls back now. Let's just say this, where's the theoretical top? It kind of, I don't feel like it's going to be done though. You know, we could, if you're a really low time frame trader, maybe we can look at it on the lower time frame. You'd want to come back here, maybe even confluence of this trend line. Let's see what our friend the Vegas wave, very important indicator. So important, I don't have it on this chart for some reason. This is the 1 hour. Yeah, I'd say more about the 4 hour would be of concern there. But that's the 1 hour. So this would be that entry for this algo that was clearly reactions at, right? We only have this one reaction. We have more evidence there than we did down low, but then on that one we would have this algo in here, and then of course if it's the expanding triangle, you're like totally upset and out of it. But then once you hit this trend line, you're probably bada bing bada boom on the way. Yeah, it could be either, you know, because I'm kind of torn on this market. I'll be honest. Again, with the Bitcoin, I gave you so many different potential options. I'm just taking this thing one wave at a time, just having successful trade after successful trade, without the larger degree clarity. Don't need it. But, you know, it's nice to have for a certain degree of larger degree clarity, like on that Bitcoin trade potential. Whereas here we don't necessarily have it because it's not as high of quality. But, you know, this is where your bias comes into play. How biased are you to buy the next retrace that was at that 50 that I showed? Or then if that breaks to this one, I got to see what it looks like. I need to show signs. All right. I think we're jumping over to another chart save. All right. Let's hit dots. I like this. I like this puppy. She moves, right? And she could be having a bit of a potential to try and break out. This is this is Doge. I'm sorry. You know what? Fuck it. Doge. Don't like Doge, but I trade it. I'll make money on it. Meme coin. It's more use case than Bitcoin. It's making a breakout. It's a legit breakout. It's under the 1 hour Vegas. Could be due for a pop. Okay. We're at a high volume node. Under the Vegas. With the low volumes, little jump here. Yeah, we could be due for a pop here. So what's this? Or a rejection, of course. So this isn't what I would call high quality setup. You know, if you could try to trade the breakout of this, but this is where, you know, this is where a zigzag ends, right? This is quite the strong move. So it could be part of a 3, maybe just like the one of the 3, put in a tiny little 2, and then off you go. Or it could be totally done. Faked out. This one isn't my favorite at the moment. Depends on how Elon feels that day anyway, right? I feel like it's gonna pop, but it's just not a high quality setup to trade, and I'm certainly not gonna sit here and tell YouTube to trade that. All this resistance pop right to here. I could see that, but it's just not a high quality setup. Now, if you're a low time frame trader, see, I do like to do this. It's not something I'm going to. Never mind, it doesn't even fit. It doesn't look right for that. See something here. Yeah, I don't know. Doge's too iffy at the moment. This looks corrective, which means if this is corrective, right, then that leans to that pop idea that I gave you. I'm just not gonna say it's. I mean, it's not the type of trade I take. I'm like a high probability trader. I don't. This is more of a coin flip, but you know, it's nice because it's a binary sort of idea. Like if you come back down in here, like get me the fuck out. So you got your clear stop, and then you got a nice target right here. So it's quite binary, you know. But I'm not suggesting you take it. Let's see, where's price line? Is price line literally on this POC? That's nuts. Do a little front run there. All depends on your appetite. 4 to 1. Yeah, that's nice. Not a bad setup. 5 to 1's better. 3 to 1's worse. All right, Litecoin, EOS, DOT. I like this project. So this is an account that I just threw on here at some point. I saw a resolution of something into here, potentially, right? And then I was tracking this as potential 3 lays. It went up to what looks like it could be 5, which is what we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. This is, you know, of course we missed the low there, but this looks like it could be a 3C in progress. So we're way up here on 4 hour. Let's get down on 1. That's ugly. So we could be potentially still within a sideways. A, B, W, X, A, B, who knows? And then come back down. If this comes back down, it shows me like exhaustion to the downside on the RSI and other indications. This is one I could be in. So if I get a nice, see how this has been just so chop. Let me get something sleepy. I could take a 3C out of that. Yeah, if you like this music, by the way, glad. But if you don't, sorry. It's a little different than my normal stuff, but it's an artist, Jay Dilla, I really like. And it's just one of his full albums. A lot of his music I run in my videos is just his beats. Rep, Jay Dilla. Yeah, so if we get something like this, where this is nice and exhausted, I could get in on that. Keep an eye on that. Might not even make it this far. Maybe it goes here, maybe it goes here, maybe it goes there. But at this moment, I don't love it for a buy. You know, I'd rather just miss it. That looks ugly. You know, so is that a leading diagonal? I don't know. Leading diagonals, they beat me up, take my lunch money. I'm not good enough to trade those like you guys. I'll leave that to the experts. All right, next one. EOS. Let's hit that one up. We talked Doge. So these two are quite similar. We'll hit Litecoin first. So I actually think Litecoin might be setting up right now. So I had this alerted from shit last week. I don't know. Why? Oh, because if this had been the previous high and it retraced to there, that's the 50. And this would be just under. But it made another higher high. And we have broken the 50 with reaction. Look of exhaustion. Dude likes it. Yeah, this is like a buy now. Of course, you missed the exact low, but didn't come to my alert, son of a gun. But it could be like Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with another low to come. This is 65 of that move. Now, what's the perspective on this one? What's the roadmap to this? So what's worrisome is that we could, based on wave structure here, have resolution at this level. But if we do not, and the trend is still on, which I am a trend trader, and you know, this is quite the knife, but you know, won that too. This B's nicer than this one, but hey. But if we don't have resolution here, what's the next idea? Well, probably 1-to-1 this guy, right? Because this guy was 1-to-1 this guy, and this guy was probably 1-to-1 that guy. You know what I mean? So this is easy, you know. And I could go like, again, this is a little bit more out of the perspective of what I want to talk about in this video, but you know, all I need to show you is, you know, that call it ABC or 1, 2, 1, 2. They're similar in magnitude, so that's what I will expect going forward. I'll go target 1. Get rid of the 618. 1-to-1. I'll go target 1. Money to be made. You know, if you want to be super conservative, make that 5-to-1. You know, if you want to be in validation, make it 2-to-1. If you want to be, you know, something like that, you got to trade your own charts, people. Just helping out with a little bit of analysis. You know, but either way, I like this as a trade, and right about now. Again, it could make another lower low, which would offer obviously even better entry. Kind of like I was saying with Bitcoin, because this looks actually a lot like that in a way. Not quite, but a bit. So yeah, this one looks good. Litecoin, Bitcoin, both looking good. ES was obviously good, although that's already on its way. Let's see. All right, so EOS. So, you know, a few weeks ago we did a live stream. A member brought this to my attention. I said, hey, yeah, this looks like it could be a expanding leading diagonal. You know, of course, I just told you guys I don't trade those, and I didn't, so I missed this. But this looks like a clear 5 waves off that low to me. I'm just going to delete that shit, so don't worry about it. If that was a leading diagonal, and it could be a C, but more than likely, in my opinion, that would be something like this. To the moon. To the moon, Alice. To the moon. Played this nice, fast, sharp A. This might even be a shallow retracement. If it turns into a sideways with an A like that. Of course, that would mean it's going to take you forever and we'll forget about it before it does its next thing. So yeah, you know, on this degree move, I think we have some time. It's way over there, but you know, basically big move off of it, right? Like over $20, right? It's just, you know, very, you know, that's a very conservative target, would still be over 20. But if it turns into a sideways, which is basically just where the B wave, the reactive wave, tests the previous high, maybe even goes beyond it, and then comes back down, it's going to take forever. People tend to, like, these things lull you to sleep. You forget about them, and then they go to the moon. So EOS might be done making big moves for a while, but that doesn't mean you can't trade on it. So we have a perspective, right? So I don't, you know, I'm not strong in my opinion on if this will do this or be a sharp, but for some reason this is speaking to me. But regardless of that, we have a bit of a roadmap there, right? So if you get down on the lower degree, you can trade within there, and this is the last chart, so I might as well get down. I meant to do that on another one, but I didn't. This, you know, what I do works on, you know, I could go on the 1 second chart and it works, right? So depending on what you want to trade, you just skew it to your degree. So again, if it doesn't go sideways, we still want to do this, right? So what's this thing? What's that right there? And this degree, looks to me like that's an impulse. I'm gonna go down to 5 minute. Not nearly as clean. That's too bad. Thought we were gonna have one of my trademark trades setting up potentially, but we don't. This could just be a zigzag. But more, hopefully, it's more of a impulse in play. This does look very much like it could be a 3 there. So, you know, this could be a 3 putting in the 4 done. Sideways 2 could be a sharp. This could be going up for a 5th like any moment now. All right. You know, I don't love 5th wave trades, but I'd like to see this play out. And then if I got something like that and it came down in 3, that's a strong buy at that point. What happened? Does something like this and then comes down in 3. That's a strong, strong buy. Back up the Brinks truck buy if that happens. And you know, this is a 5 minute chart, so you should know by tomorrow sometime. And I was just kidding about backing up the Brinks trucks. Just another trade. It's always just another trade. Never over leverage. But that's a good one. It's just, if that happens, that's the signature. Yeah. All right, guys. I don't know if anybody enjoys these, but yeah, this is gonna go up on the YouTube. So couldn't keep the energy up for the whole time, but I think I burned through a lot of charts here and hopefully gave some perspective. If you like this analysis and you want to learn how to do it, come on over to Trade Devils, or, you know, check me out on Twitter. Don't really post there, but at sensei-tutum, or just, you know, maybe I'll post on YouTube again. We'll see. All right, boys, toot out.